He almost never badmouthed anyone, except one Hollywood legend. Audie Murphy said it flat out. He couldn't stand him. From hungry Texas kid to Medal of Honor hero to reluctant movie star, Murphy lived courage at Colmer, then walked into a town built on make-believe, where one star crossed his line of respect. This isn't gossip. It's a collision of values, service, honor, and ego. Stay with me, and you'll hear who he despised and why it never cooled. If you want facts over flash, hit subscribe and tell me, is a hero measured by what he does or by the applause after? Picture this, a skinny farm boy from Texas, barely 5 or 5 ways, and under $120 LB. A kid so slight the U.S. Army first told him to go home, too young, too small, too fragile. His name, Audie Leon Murphy. By every outward measure, he looked like the least likely warrior. And yet, history loves a surprise. That rejected teen became the most decorated American soldier of World War II. His name etched permanently into the story of American courage. If you think that's patriotic myth-making, consider the day that defined him. January 1945, the Colmar Pocket in eastern France. Snow on the ground, visibility low, German tanks and infantry pressing hard. Murphy, just 19, commanded fewer than 40 men on a critical line. He ordered his squad back to cover and stayed forward alone. Climbing onto a burning tank destroyer, he manned its .50 caliber machine gun while artillery burst around him. For nearly an hour he held off waves of attacking troops, one man silhouetted in smoke and snow, before rejoining his unit, rallying a counterattack, and driving the enemy back. He earned the Medal of Honor that day, but what he truly won was a place in American memory. It wasn't bravado. It was defiance. How does someone like that happen? You have to rewind back to the red dirt and hard sun of rural Texas in the 1920s and 1930s. June 20th, 1925, Kingston, Hunt County, Texas. Audie was the 7th of 12 children. His parents, Emmett Barry Murphy and Josie Bell Killian, were tenant farmers fighting a losing battle against poverty. Then came the Great Depression. Emmett drifted in and out. Josie held the family together with grit and prayer. School became a luxury Audie couldn't afford. By 5th grade, he left to earn pennies in the cotton fields. Childhood was replaced by survival. In 1941, Josie died. Audie was 16. The siblings scattered to foster homes and orphanages. The last fragile bit of home went with her. He bounced between Farmersville, Greenville, and Celeste, taking any work he could find. Hunger, abandonment, and loss either break you or build you. For Audie, they did both, shattering his boyhood, forging his will. By 1942, the world was on fire. 17 and desperate to enlist, Murphy tried the Marines, the Navy, even the paratroops. All said no, too small. He kept showing up until the Army said yes. June 30th, 1942, he became an infantryman. Boot camp was merciless, babyface jokes, side bets he wouldn't last a week, but he had a secret weapon, an iron will forged in Texas fields, and a steady eye from hunting to feed his siblings. The laughter faded. Respect took its place. Assigned to the 15th Infantry Regiment, 3rd Infantry Division, he shipped to North Africa, then Sicily in 1943. Under machine gun fire, his quiet steadiness stood out, crawling through dust, pulling wounded buddies to safety, shooting with unnerving precision. Operation Dragoon in southern France, August 1944, pushed him into legend, seizing an abandoned machine gun, cutting down an attack, holding ground until reinforcements came. He was promoted to 2nd lieutenant. From there, the citations piled up. Silver Stars, Bronze Stars, Purple Hearts. 33 decorations in all. Officers trusted his instincts. Soldiers followed him anywhere. He didn't fight for medals. "You don't think about being brave," he said later. "You just don't have a choice." When the guns finally fell silent, Murphy was barely 20 and carried more than ribbons. The nightmares, the jumpiness, the pistol under the pillow. Today we call it PTSD. He didn't hide it. He spoke up, becoming a voice for veterans long before the country had the words. Then Hollywood called. He never wanted to be a star. He wanted a quiet ranch. But Universal persisted, and by 1948 he was in front of the lights. He wasn't polished. Critics sniffed. Audiences didn't care. They saw something no acting school could teach. authenticity. Westerns and war pictures followed. Bad Boy, 1949, The Kid from Texas, 1950, Kansas Raiders, 1950. The turning point came with To Hell and Back, 1955, the film of his own best-selling memoir, with Audie playing Audie. He hesitated, then agreed to honor the men who didn't come home. The result smashed box office records and made him a permanent fixture on the American screen. Off-screen, life was harder. He married actress Wanda Hendricks in 1949. The marriage folded under the strain of war's residue. Later that year, he wed Pamela Archer, a flight attendant far from the Hollywood whirl. With Pamela, he found steadier ground and raised two sons, Terry and James. He never pretended the shadows were gone. He talked openly about depression and advocated fiercely for veterans. For all his reserve, Audie almost never spoke harshly about colleagues. Almost. The exception was one icon, James Cagney. To the public, Cagney was untouchable, the swaggering tough guy from New York. To Murphy, the act felt hollow. He played the same man in every picture, Audie once snapped. Maybe the public bought it. I didn't. The rub went deeper than style. While Audie bled in Europe, Cagney stayed stateside. A fact that, to a combat soldier who measured men by where they stood when the world burned, never sat right. In Hollywood lounges, Cagney reportedly called him Soldier Boy. Maybe some heard it as teasing. Audie heard the sneer. I don't mind being called a soldier, he said. That's what I was. It was the way he said it. He admired plenty of stars, especially those who served, like James Stewart, but when it came to Cagney, Murphy never softened. I hated him more than anyone in Hollywood, he told friends. He was everything false about the business. Then came the cruel final act. May 28, 1971, Audie boarded a twin-engine Aero Commander on a business trip. Hours later, the plane slammed into Brush Mountain near Catawba, Virginia. He was 45. The official findings: poor weather, low ceiling, pilot error. Simple, tragic. But questions lingered. Why the dangerously low descent? Why conflicting recollections? Why parts of wreckage noted missing? Rumors swirled. Business enemies, mob ties, even whispers that Audie had stumbled onto things best left buried. Years later, independent diggers pointed to curious details: wiring that looked cut, controls that looked tampered with, while retired officials, finally willing to talk, hinted at classified matters and warnings Audie had ignored. Nothing proved, nothing disproved. The mystery remains, a long shadow across a life already larger than legend. So what do we do with Audie Murphy? Strip away the medals and movie posters, and you're left with this: a frail farm kid who outwilled poverty, outfought fear, and outwalked the bright illusions of Hollywood. He stood small, fought giant, and spoke plain, especially when respect was on the line. He believed the real heroes were the ones who didn't come home, and he lived the rest of his days trying to speak for them. If you want more truth over gloss, tap like, hit subscribe, and share this with someone who remembers what honor feels like. And tell me in the comments, whose story next? James Stewart? Alvin York? Someone you served with? Someone history forgot? Drop a name below. I'm listening.